Hey guys, how you doing? Coach Scott, Purple Wave Chemistry again I say. And now let's talk about the molecular formula. So if the empirical formula is the lowest whole number ratio that we can calculate, that we can analyze, then the molecular formula is the actual formula for that compound. Now, in order to find the molecular formula, you have to know what the molar mass is of the actual compound. All right, you have to know the molar mass. And anything we're going to do, we'll give it to you. So let's look at this problem. All right, so this is talking about an antibiotic, metronidazole, and it gave us here the molar mass, the molecular mass of what it actually is. It's asking for the molecular formula. All right. First, we've got to find the empirical formula, which is the lowest whole number ratio. So let's do that. All right. We've done this already. So let's look. We've got carbon 42.105, and we're going to call that grams because we're going to have to do a little something else. It didn't give us the amount of oxygen, so I'm going to have to add all these up for 105 plus 5.263 plus 24.561. Add those up, they do not add up to 100. No, they add up to 71.929. So I'm going to subtract that from 100. So it'll tell us I got 28.071. So that tells me that oxygen is 28.071%, or we're dealing with grams. So hydrogen has a mass, or a percentage, we're going to call it a mass, out of this 100 gram sample of 5.263 grams. We did our magic. Nitrogen is 24.561 grams, and we calculated the amount of oxygen, and it is 28.071 grams. Now we're going to use our handy dandy periodic table, and we know that carbon has a mass, or has a molar mass, of 12.01 grams per mole, and that's going to give us moles. All right, we know that hydrogen has a molar mass of 1.0079 grams per mole. Looking at our periodic table, nitrogen 14.007 grams per mole. And oxygen, of course, is 15.9999 grams per mole. All right, got to do a little mathy stuff. 42.105 divided by 12.01, I get 3.51 moles. Hydrogen 5.263 divided by 1.0079, I got 5.22 moles. And nitrogen 24.561 divided by 14.007, I got 1.75 moles. And then 28.071 divided by 15.999, I got 1.75. Yeah. So, needless to say, to get the empirical formula, which one of these are going to use? Well, of course, we're going to use 1.75. So I divide 1.75 because that's the smallest one. And I come up moles. And I come up with 1.75. I come up with 1. 5.22. 1.75, I don't know what we'll get. We got 3 and 3.51. That should be a 2. divided by 1.75, and we got a 2.005. Yeah, we got 2. So that means the empirical formula of this compound is C2H3NO. Okay? Empirical formula. That's the lowest whole number ratio. Let's get the actual one. Now, this is where we differ from empirical formula. What we have to do now is get the molar mass of what this is, this empirical formula. So let's do it. Let's see, it'd be, I'm going to switch colors. I'm going to go to blue. So I'm going to go 2 times 12.01 plus 3 times 1.0079, and then plus 14, that's a plus, 14.007 plus 15.999. And add all those up. 2 times 12.01 plus 3 times 1.0079 plus 14.007 plus 15.999. So I get a molar mass, after I do all this, the molar mass, the empirical formula, molar mass is 57.05 grams per mole. Okay, the molecular mass is 171 grams per mole. So that's not the same. Okay, it's no big deal. So now we're going to take that 171 and we're going to divide it by the empirical formula molar mass. And I get I messed up. Yeah, 171 divided by, 0.059. I get a factor of 3. 0.059. If I divide that, I get a factor of 3. So, to get the absolute molecular compound, I'm going to take that factor and I'm going to multiply each one of those by a factor of 3. So I get 3 times 2 carbons. That means I've got 6 carbons. 2 times 3 hydrogens, I've got 6 hydrogens. I've got 3 nitrogens, and I've got 3 oxygens. So that would be the molecular formula, the actual formula of that compound. So that antibiotic is C6H6N3O3. We go with it. A couple more steps, but again, practice these, you'll do well. I'm going to make a molecular formula 2 video, and we're going to work another one because it takes a while to work these. So this is Coach Scott saying, see you next time.